What you're going to need to make really awesome guacamole. You're going to need a bowl. Some of you are going to need 5 or 6 bowls, and in the process, destroy your entire kitchen. You're going to need 2 avocados. Ripe, perfect, ready to go. You're also going to need 1 lime. Some of you may need to use 2 limes depending on the size of your limes. You will need your Costa Rican sea salt. You will also need your olive oil. You'll need a knife that you feel very, very comfortable with. You'll need a whisk to actually make the mole. Some of you will need chainmail gloves. You'll know why when we get to that part. But this is all you're going to need to make the best guacamole you ever had. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is figure out which one of these avocados is ready to make guacamole and which ones aren't. As you see, each of these avocados is a little bit different than the other. So when you're picking out an avocado to make the guacamole, the one thing you want to look for is an avocado that isn't very glossy. It doesn't have a bright sheen as these ones do. That little matte finish on the avocado is what we're looking for. We're also looking for a stem that's present, because when it's completely matte and that little stem's gone, chances are the inside is going to be very bruised. When you pick up an avocado, try not to squeeze it, because even though it isn't ripe today, later on it will ripen, and everywhere you squeezed will be bruised. Now we're going to go over how to get the most juice out of your lime. And yes, I'm well aware that the one on the left is a lemon. Most of the times when we cut, or when we think of citrus, we cut them in half as so. And from here, we take our bowl, we squeeze it in, and we use any number of apparatus to get the most juice out as possible. Sometimes you can massage lemons, get a little bit more out. You can put them in the oven for a little bit, heat them up, you get some out. But we get the point. We can get a substantial amount of juice out of a lemon by cutting it across its axis. Now we're going to take a look at the lime. Limes are a little bit different. Because of the way the membranes are structured on the inside, you need to take a lime and you cut parallel to the axis. By cutting it parallel to the axis, it opens up those membranes so we can get the maximum juice yield from our organic limes. And for those of you who shop organic, know that limes can be rather expensive. So from this one lime, we're going to extract almost the same quantity of juice as we did from a lemon. In often case, that's not true, especially if you cut it across the axis. So there you have it. Lime juice and lemon juice. So here we go. The quick and an easy guacamole. First off, take your avocado. This one, supremely selected by myself. And what you do is you find out where the stem is, put your knife right below the stem and cut towards the stone, not cutting yourself. Slide the knife around the stone. When you get to where you began, pull your knife out, gently twist in half. You shouldn't have to apply very much pressure at all, if any, to get it in half. Then take your knife, put your hands down here, drop your knife, gently turn, out pops the pit. Use it for a science project for your kids. Start growing an avocado tree. And we take it, we score it, not going all the way through and cutting your hands, because this is a vegan dish. Then with a spoon, we take it, scoop it into said bowl. Being careful not to knock the stem into the bowl. There it is. Do this again, right below the stem, cut in, bring the knife around, get to the beginning, twist, in, out, science project, in the sink, score, score. Sometimes you can take it and you cross hatch it, and you can get your mole work a little bit tamer. Take your spoon, scoop, scoop, and that concludes the avocado extraction portion of this demonstration. Next, what I do is add my Costa Rican sea salt, a lime juice, and of course, to make it even a little bit more special, I add my olive oil. At this point, I use a whisk, and with that whisk, begin to make my mole. Now, because the camera's on a shaky tripod attached to the counter, I'm going to do this off camera, but then I'll show you the finished result. I may have forgotten to mention that the best guacamole requires the use of a horse. And there you have it. Very rustic, very simple guacamole. And I tell you, it'll be out of this world. People that have used my recipe and my method have often found and commented that it has an extended shelf life. This guacamole has been on the counter for over 2 hours and shows very little signs of oxidation. I hope you've enjoyed this little video on making guacamole. If you have any interest on lessons or learning how to make something else, please drop it in the comment section below.